To the cloud.
Okay, we're recording to the cloud. Thank you, Savannah. I appreciate the introduction. And yeah, we're gonna go over a bunch of stuff tonight. And the things that I really wanna make everyone understand is I am just like everybody else on this webinar. I'm a very happy subscriber to IML, and I'm focusing on trading. I'm very blessed to have a very nice group, and nothing against the MLM side. The MLM side is really very, very valuable to us for multiple reasons. That's just not the topic of conversation today. But one thing I do want to bring out is for people who might not have a lot of resources to start a trading account, if you get yourself a P600 and you're grabbing $600 a month from your group and you spend some time in demo, by the time you're at a demo, you have some real money to put in a trading account. So nowhere else on the planet that I know of does a Forex trader who's going through some education have that as a resource as well. So that being said, let's let you know who you're talking with. That's my beautiful girl. Hold on. Babe, I can't talk right now. I love you. I'm on a webinar. So yeah, just a little bit about me. I found trading about a year ago through Aurea and Savant. And my background is mechanical engineering. I'm a patented inventor. I learned things a very, very different way. I don't have a college education. And that's not because I didn't want a college education. It's because I learned a very, very, very different way. I learned tactily. I have to touch it. I have to feel it. When I was 2 years old, I built my first mechanical device, and when I was 5 years old, I built my first complex machine. That's not normal. That's just not the way things should go. That's a very specific blessing that I have, but God also blessed me with dyslexia, ADD, all these other types of things where my mind goes in 14 different directions at one time, and it made school a nightmare for me. I'm of the age that when we didn't do well in school, we got hit with a ruler, and I still have the scars on my hand to prove it. So why am I bringing that up? I'm bringing that up because we are in an online academy that is supposed to be teaching us how to trade. Well, I barely made it out of high school. So I'm going to explain this information in maybe a little different way than you're used to receiving it, because it makes sense in my head. So when I give it to you the way I understand it, perhaps it'll help someone else. So I'm not here as a professional. I don't have a class, a Series 6 license. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. I'm not going to call trades. I'm not going to do any of those things that one might expect to affect them financially. And what I learned right from the jump, right from the start with from the academy, is we're putting ourselves in a position to learn an entirely different financial tool that has been used by banks for an incredibly long period of time. I mean, the exchange of money has gone for thousands of years. So this is not something that's new. It was just new to me. And what I had to understand is that in the exchange of money, that just doesn't happen on my little screen on the times that I look to trade. That's happening globally. There are people right now in Australia who are getting up and going to a Harley Davidson dealer to go buy a Harley Davidson. Well, why is that important? Why? Because Harley Davidson does not take Aussie dollars. Harley Davidson takes US dollars. So somewhere along the line, when this Australian individual buys a US product or Harley Davidson, there's got to be the exchange. And that's the fundamental reason why we exist. In order for there to be a happy world or an ebb and flow of economy, central banks have multiple currencies, the 8 majors, in reserve. You've heard the term a reserve bank. A central reserve bank. Yes, they actually have to have the 8 currencies on reserve in their bank. So if they're having a good day at Harley over in Australia and they're running out of $100 bills, there's someone over there in the Aussie bank say, dude, we got to buy some hundreds. I got way too many yen, but I need some hundreds. And that's what develops the exchange rate. So picture a window opening up and saying $100 bills. I'll pay $125 for a $100 bill. Why? Because I need them really bad. Why? Because there's a 72-hour rule. They have 72 hours, a rolling 72 hours where these books have got to be balanced or they can't do business. So that means people are going to be buying Aussie dollars or US dollars or yen in lots of 100,000, lots of 1 million, moving vast amounts of money in instantaneous amounts of time. You guys have seen candles that are like 5 feet long. Holy mackerel. On a 15-minute chart, it moves 50 pips. Somebody moved a lot of money because they had to, not because they wanted to, because they had to. Why is that important? That's important because human beings are creatures of habit. We do things from habit. And we do things from habit all around the world. There's Chinese habits. There's people in Germany who have habits. And that reflects the flow of that currency. So we have a thing called a harmonic scanner. And the harmonic scanner monitors in the background all these types of things that I just explained. And it's freaking out right now because we got this huge candle. I was just talking about a huge candle, right? Look at this monster. Something bad happened somewhere. We're going to talk about this. But now that we know why this scanner exists, now I'm going to tell you what in the world it does. So when you saw, pardon me, and I'm overcoming a cough, so I apologize for that. Right now, oh wow, cool. This is Aussie USD. So when you come onto your scanner, you're going to come over here, pick a broker. I like going on the 1, the 4, and the day chart. I'm going to look at that. And Aussie USD was there somewhere. Well, let's look at Aussie NZD because that's relatively new. And Aussie's freaking out right now. So I just click this, and this is bringing up a scan in real time. And you can see it here. I'm on the 1-hour chart. You see my cursor in the upper left? Cool. If you look over here, I'm on Trader's Way as the broker, Aussie and New Zealand dollars, 1 hour, and this is a shark pattern. And what the shark pattern is doing, there's a computer program generated by a guy named Stephen Hooley, who put this all together on a trading view chart. This is a standard trading view chart that runs through our platform with our scanner on top of it. And that says there's an algorithm, there's a mathematical program running in the background. And it says when these values happen, when this pattern happens, we are most probably going to go into a buy. And how do I know that? Because you're looking for the D. This is when the scan happened. And we have some really funky candles here. Holy mackerel, we got a lot of movement. Some crazy stuff must be going on. But what they're saying is when my entry price is triggered, I'm going to go into a buy. My take profit is here at this number. Take profit 1, take profit 2, and this is take profit 3. Now, Everybody likes to take profit. Two, nobody likes to have a loss. The scanner will show you where your stop loss should be. So this is the stop loss that we use. We just type that puppy in. And if the price would have come down here in this range, I would have waited for it to bounce back down to this entry level before I got in. But here, this was an immediate entry. I come over here to my measuring tool, and you can see from here to there is 25 pips. This thing already moved 50 pips. This is a happy scan. This is a very happy day because someone went on a 1 hour chart. They just did what they were told, and there's no red bus here. This immediately went blue. If I hit here, boom, I'm immediately blue. That's a perfect world. Doesn't happen that way. Normally, pardon me, normally there's a lot of pain in some of these scans because we have to drive the red bus for a while. Anybody been on the red bus? The minute you pick you pull a direction, I'm in on a buy, it goes into a sell, and you ride the red bus for half an hour. Then you want to go kick the dog a couple of times, something like that, right? Nobody's happy. I'm not talking to my wife no more until I get off the red bus. I'm joking, right? But I'm not joking. And here's why I'm not joking. Because as cool as this scanner is, just exactly what I showed you, if you just followed freaking directions here or just poke buttons, that's the mechanical end of trading. Learning how to ride the red bus and not kick the dog, that's all about mindset. That's about understanding where this is going to go, why it's going to go, what the highest probability is, and you can relax when you're on the red bus because you know it's a short ride. Or you know that perhaps it's not going your way and you know when to get the heck off the red bus and take a loss, right? So what we talk about is the mindset of trading. And I was just talking to someone earlier about, a little bit of an analogy. I don't know if we have any sports fans on here, or someone might watch baseball. In the game of baseball, the pitcher obviously controls the game, right? The only game on the planet that I know of where defense controls the ball, right? So the pitcher's throwing balls and the pitcher's throwing strikes. Balls and strikes. Even when pitchers have thrown a perfect game where nobody gets on base, no runs scored, no hits, that's considered a perfect game, right? He still throws some balls. He can't possibly throw all strikes. When you're trading, it's not possible to win every trade. It's just not possible. And what drives a trader crazy is their relationship with money. Man, I know I wasn't supposed to put the rent money in my trading account, but I did it anyway. I'm on the red bus, and my dog has got all black and blue. That's how that happens, right? So if you want to avoid the stress, this is Tommy's rule, right? This is just my little Italian way of thinking, the way my mind works, right? Demo is the most valuable time to a trader. A trader should never be without a demo account. People say never, but I really mean never should be without a demo account. You should have your trading account, your live account, and your demo account. Because I might tell you something cool about this harmonic scan you didn't know about. You don't do it with real money. You get your butt back into your demo account and you get into demo. And you pull your lumps in demo. There's never a time when you're out of demo. You're always in demo. But you go live to make a trade and get back to demo. All right? It's a different philosophy. You might not have heard that before. It's my philosophy. If you don't like it, you can ignore it. I like it. Save me a lot of money. because I got started and I, picked it up fairly well. And I started seeing people doing better than me. And I'm like, oh, they're doing better than me. I'm just going to take their trades. I lost $5,000 taking people's trades because I didn't understand the trade. Who here has played catch? Right? Softball, baseball, you play catch, right? Someone threw you the ball. You could see the ball. Try playing catch with your eyes closed. That's what it's like taking somebody else's trade, because you don't understand what they saw in the chart to have them jump in. Here on the harmonic scanner, we don't understand what the harmonic scanner saw to call this trade. That's why I'm going to lay some additional tools on here to give us a higher level of understanding, okay? So the whole point of this is Tommy's little Italian rule is you should be in demo as a beginner, not ever trading live until you have doubled or tripled your demo account. Doubled or tripled your demo account. And your demo account should be whatever you plan to enter the real market with. If you're going to enter the real market with $50, cool. Your demo account should be what? $50. Don't start trading in lots of 100 on $1 million account and then go learn. You're going to be driving $1,000 account. It's going to be black and blue all over. It's going to be black and blue all over me or you, right? So a demo account should reflect the actual number that you're going to start with. You're going to learn a lot about trading plans when you go through the academy. You don't get out of demo until you have a written trading plan, so you understand what days you're trading, what type of a trader you are, if you're going to be a scalper, if you're going to be intraday trading. The scanner is a scalping tool. It's an awesome scalping tool. And let me get back to actually driving the scanner a little bit and show you which buttons to click and how to get to where you got to go. And then I'll lay some a little more in-depth stuff on there as well. All right, so we went and we picked a broker. We picked, we picked a pair. And we're like that. We can go and we can enter this trade. But what I want to do real quick is jump back to the brokers and jump back to the scans for a minute. I want to show you something really, really neat that happens in our world of choices. So here, what the scanner is actually telling us here is these pairs are in motion. There's stuff happening. Look at this. There's a lot of stuff happening here, right? So we got Aussie, NZD. We got Great Britain, AUD. We have Euro, JPY. We have GBP, CAD. I'm noticing something. I'm noticing that some of these pairs are repeating. I got GBP, AUD. I have AUD, NZD. So if I went and I looked at my TradingView account on, or another, what's the other platform? TradingView and the other one. It'll pop into my head. What I would do is I would cross out AUD and cross out AUD, and I can go look at GBP, NZD. GBP and NZT also have to be moving. That gives me the option for another trade. So here, I got GBP CAD, and I got GBP AUD. So AUD and CAD are also moving. So I can look at my scanner, and I can write pairs down for me to go into my TradingView account and look at other puppies, other pairs, to give me additional resources, additional options to trade. So let's just get back into this particular trade, this particular pair. Where did we go? There. So here's what my guy looks like on the 1 hour. I can come over here and do 15 minutes. And that's going to come up and show 15 minutes. It'll do it. It takes a little bit. But now, if I'm scalping, I'm going to enter off the 15-minute chart. But I also want to understand what's a really good entry. This is not a good example because this thing went blue immediately. Let me find something that's a little scary to beginners. When I was beginning to trade. Let's pull up Euro AUD. Wow, this is another happy scenario. Look at this. This is on the 4-hour. Euro AUD. Here's my stop loss. Here's my entry. So what happened to this trade? Well, here is my entry point on the call to go into a sell. And if you got in early, if you put in the numbers right here on this candle, the odds are you got stopped out because it hit the stop loss before it went down and started taking any profit. Does everybody understand what I'm talking about? Put a 1 in the chat box if you understand what I just said. I should have a bunch of 1s in there, otherwise I'm going to repeat myself. All right, Debbie, I know you got it. Can we type? Okay, Serge, great, awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little bit about entries. And what I like to do is I like to pull up a Bollinger Band. And you can just go into indicators and type in Bollinger Bands. And now that's an additional tool that I brought up that I'm adding to my scanner. Well, gee, Tommy, why did you do that? Well, in the world of Bollinger Bands, let me explain this a little bit. This is a moving average of highs, an average of lows, and this is the average of the high and the low. So this band is a happy place that the price wants to reside. And you'll notice if I scrunch this down, you'll see from history how the price bounces back from the high and the low of the bands, right? So if I come over here, I see my price is closed outside of the top end of the Bollinger Band. It's outside of the market. Anytime it goes outside of the market, it wants to come back. It wants to get back there. Come hell or high water, it wants to get back there. It's going to come to the median. It's going to flop around here on the red line for a little bit. Then it's going to take off in one direction or the other. Right? It closed outside of the band. It's going to want to come back. It closed outside the band. It wants to come back. Here it just blasted through. So it either comes to an extreme, it flops around a little bit, or it bounces right back. So here, underneath this, is called an RSI, Relative Strength Index. And that is monitoring the strength of this particular pair. So why am I bringing that up? Because when I looked at this chart, I saw this Bollinger Band, I'm seeing that this price is closed outside of my band. I'm not getting in yet until I'm inside my band. And that keeps me from this risk. I'm not on the red bus over here. I'm not getting hurt over here because I threw my Bollinger in there and I'm using the Bollinger as an additional tool. It's I want all the information I can get, right? I want to hear everyone's opinion. All my little indicator Indians, I want to hear all of them, the ones that I use. And I want to stack them all up on my favor, okay? So, and I love this whole take profit 1, take profit 2, love it. That ain't me. Because in my world, this is an aggressive take for me. That's 30 pips, that's 50 pips. That's fairly aggressive for me. I want 5 pips. You heard about 10 pips and dip. I'm like, take 5, stay alive. I want 5. 5. Just 5. Because I'm waiting till I get back into my Bollinger, and I'm going to play from here to here. See where my cursor's going in a circle? I want to get on the blue bus, not on the red bus. I want to be in here. Boom. That's 5 little old measly pips. That's 5 pips. Can you grab 5 out of there and run away like you stole them? Heck yeah. Because now I'm going in for my 5 with the biggest lot size my risk management profile will allow. I'm grabbing my 5 and leaving. Poof. Right? Because when I started trading in micro lots, 0.01 in my demo account. And the numbers were not impressive. I got all excited. I told my wife, Ogie, I made 13 cents. You can't believe. And she's like, cool, Tommy. 13 cents. I love you. The hell are you doing with your time? Right? But then, you know what I'm saying? But then I started, I got a little more in touch with the world. And I'm like, I just made 10 pips. I made 15 pips. Right? So let's think about this for a minute. We all enter the market on a trade at different levels, and they're determined by pips. So if you go in with on a standard lot size of 1, that means you get paid. Every pip is worth $10. $10. But when you're in on the micro, you're getting 5 cents. 5 cents. Yeah, I cracked myself up. But it's the skill. When you own the skill to grab the 5 pips, those 5 pips stack up. When you're trading in standard lots and you're going in with a lot size of 10 and each pip is $100, who's upset with grabbing 5 pips now? That's $500. Now I got your attention, right? But you never make it to the 10 pip. You never make it to the lot size of 10 because you keep on blowing your $300 account because you don't stay in demo long enough. You think demo is purgatory. You think demo is somewhere that you pass through. Demo is somewhere that you exercise. Demo is the gymnasium of the foreign exchange. You go in there to build your muscles. Because when I just have to glance at this now, and I'm not anything special. I've just seen this so many times. I'm like, oh, this is market makers, man. These are people putting in a bunch of money because the market makers know where the market's going to go. And if you're not familiar with the term market maker, believe me, that's a whole nother conversation. But the market is not a happy place in terms of playing nice with the children. Okay? We as retail traders are pretty much the guppies of the ocean. We are the ones that get consumed where the brokers make their money off of. 90% of a retail trader's account will be lost in 90 days. I'm not making it up. That is the fact. And they plan on it because people will average going with $300 to $500. They'll lose that within 90 days. They'll bring it down to like wipe themselves out, or they got $15 left in there. They'll go lick their wounds for 3 months and build up their courage again and go put another 500 in, and they'll lose that again. So that's why when you bring up, you tell some of your friends, oh yeah, I'm studying the foreign exchange, they run away from you like their hair's on fire, because they've already lost $5 grand, in multiples, 10 times. So, because they just don't have the benefit of having some of the experience that our IML instructors give us. Everything I'm telling you, I've pretty much learned from some form of IML instruction from somewhere. I don't limit myself to IML information. There's a woman named Anna Cooling who does wonderful things on volume price analysis. Debbie, if you type her name in there for everybody, I'd appreciate it. She writes a really good book about volume and price and discuss how the markets work, but that's for another time. So this is really why I throw the Bollinger Bands in there, but I'm going to give you more. Yes, Tommy, there's more. SAR, S-A-R. SAR stands for, I put a couple of them. Parabolic SAR stands for stop and reverse. And I'm going to format this, and I changed this a little bit. And I didn't change, I'm not changing this willy-nilly. I'm changing this under the direction of a master trader. And these are the numbers that I'm giving. I turn this one yellow, and I put the little crosses down. I make it as dark as possible, like this. And I'm gonna make this default, save it as default. And what I have to do, I trade on a black screen. So I'm gonna do my properties over here. I'm gonna change my background and just make it a little darker for you guys so you can see the yellow. All right, I just want to explain what a SAR is. Let me do this. Okay, so SAR, it stands for stop and reverse. And you'll notice when these SARs pop up, they're far away from the price. Here's the price over here. My SAR is way up over there. And what happens is, as the SARs progress, as the price action happens, the SAR will come and get real close to the price, and then it'll flip. So when I looked at this, and you see this over here, and my SAR is still on the bottom, this is telling me I'm still in a buy. When the SAR is on top, you're in a sell. When the SAR is on the bottom, you're in a buy. So I'm over here, I'm like, dude, you might have got most of the world on this one, but my SAR hasn't flipped yet. My SAR hasn't flipped yet. No, 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 I'm not getting in. My SAR flipped. My SAR flipped, and I made it back into my Bollinger Band. My SAR flipped, and I made it back into my Bollinger Band. Cool beans. Now I have more of my tools. Come on, properties. I have more of my tools telling me, my indicators telling me what's about to happen. So I actually use two SARs. I use a yellow one, and I use a red one. I make the red one as big as possible, and I make it bold. Well, no, I make it like that. I want to be able to see through it. Cool. And the reason why I use two SARs, oh, I gotta change this. Inputs. This is 06. 06. Okay. Because the red SARs flip first. My red SAR is like my early warning system. But I don't do anything typically until I get them both going. All right, so here you see the red and yellow, and I usually make my yellow ones a little smaller so I can see through them when they're on top of each other. So those are indicators that I use along with the harmonic scanner to perfect my entry. And because I'm so happy taking 5 pips, that I grab my 5 pips and I leave. Now, will I do more than 5 pips? Yeah, sometimes. But once I take my 5 pips, I start over again. I do all my analysis over again to make sure the trade is still valid. I just don't jump in for another 5 like I'm going to miss something. Most retail traders lose most of their money because they are, listen to this, they are afraid they are going to miss the move. I got to get in now. I'm going to miss it. I'm getting in now. Now is early. Don't get in now. Wait till you have your indicators, because the market moves with fake outs. They faking you out before the breakout. Fake out, breakout. Fake out, breakout. Over here, this wick, that was collecting money from the retail traders who knew they called the sell. They called it. They knew it was going to be a sell. I'm getting in. They got in early, and then they got burnt on their stop loss. That's how we're losing money. Okay, so we got to cut that out. So let me, is everybody good so far on the harmonic scanner? Let me answer some questions that I might not have covered from people who might be brand new to the scanner. Shout it out. Anybody? All right, let me do another one. So I'm gonna come back over here. I'm gonna pop off my additional tools. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna go and pick. Who am I gonna pick? We did that. We did that. Let's look at cat. This is a little older, and as you go down the list, the scans get older. Scan is scanning, do your thing. While this is popping up and we have a naked chart, I also want to point out flat tops, flat bottoms, flat top, flat bottom. Okay. This looks very happy. Yeah, okay. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. What's the move? Is the move a buy or a sell? Come on, type it in there. Who thinks this is a buy? Who thinks it's a sell? It's a buy.
Right.
Right. What happened to your butt if you got in early? What happened if you got in on D when you got on this last extension? And you went and you said, okay, like this whole part of the chart doesn't exist. Here, let's pull it like this. Let's go back in time. And we're like, ooh, look at this. We got a good move here. And now this is on the 1 hour. See if I can pull up on 15. That's not gonna switch over. Okay. So I'm here on the 1 hour. And I got a lot of faith in my scanner, man. I know it's gonna happen. So the scan came up, it was brand new. I jumped in on this puppy right on the first candle. And I immediately got on the red bus. I hit my stop loss. I started going into purgatory, and now I'm in hell. Right? And then what did the market do again? The market went, oh, okay, I got myself a flat bottom. Okay, well now, cool, let me get in now. All right, fine, now. Well, I better wait for my entry. So I waited for my entry, or if I got in now, if you got in here, if you had the cojones to get in on this flat bottom, where the RSI was going up into a what? Up into a buy. The RSI is saying buy. If you wanted to play this game, you would have won. But then we went into consolidation again. And they dropped the bottom out again. And that's the move. This is the fake out. This is a fake out. This is a breakout. That's a full freaking move. This is a freaking bonanza. Okay, even if we take it from the entry up to here, that's 80 pips. That's a happy day in anyone's book, right? But now what would happen if we did this? If we were on the Bollinger? See how the Bollinger gives us some more information?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, I'm outside my Bollinger Band. I'm still outside my Bollinger Band. I'm still outside my Bollinger Band. Me personally, I would have waited to here. This is my entry. And now let's see what the SARs are saying. Again, see, this is calling a buy. My scan is calling a buy, but my SARs have not flipped over from a sell yet. Look where they flipped over. Where did I tell you I was going to get in? Before I turn my SAR on? Boom. Here, my SAR flipped. And now I'm going to ride the happy bus. And what they do? They came and they pulled the rug out again. Because some people get in here and they go for the 80 pips. They go for the 50 pips. Let me go for 25 pips. Let me go for a big number. Man, they came and they nailed you on the stop loss again because you rode this candle down. Anytime you're in the market, your money's at risk. The number one responsibility of a trader, is not to make money. The number one responsibility of a trader is to safeguard your account. Safeguard your account. And because we do what we do, over time, statistically, we will make money. Because we're learning in demo how to win 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 9 out of 10. If I keep on going with the appropriate risk management, the same lot size, the same bite out of the market. Don't take a big bite, take your bite. And I lose, let's say I'm looking for 5 pips, Let's say I drop out on a 10 pip stop loss. How many wins do I have to get back? I only need to win twice, right? Who here has lost 50 pips on a stop loss? And then you got to make up that ground. It's all about being in demo. It's all about going through this exercise in demo. And this is a perfect example of using additional tools to perfect your entry. And this is why I do this, right? Now, if you come over here and you look at the RSI, right? Over here, the RSI is telling you get in, but for me, it's still early. Some people look at this and they don't want to miss it. Some people look at this and they don't want to miss it. Some people look at this and they don't want to miss it. Well, that's fine. I'm getting in over here. And boom. This is 15 pips. I could have been in and out of here twice. And I could have grabbed 10 pips of that. Let's say I missed it. Oh my God. Afachim, I missed it. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to wait till over here. And it's going to happen again. If you can get the thought out of your head that you're going to miss it, that's going to increase your wins dramatically. Just like that. Wait for the move. Don't buy the fake out. Wait for the breakout. And I want to go over something else. These are my own little definitions, so understand something. Most people call this consolidation. Consolidation. Here's consolidation. I don't call it consolidation. I call that freaking patience. This is patience. This is payday. This is patience. This is get paid. Patience paid. Patience, paid. Patience, 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 paid. If you're patient long enough, you will get paid. The market will not give you the trade that you're looking for. It's trading the trade it's trading. It's doing what it's doing. And if your trading plan isn't in sync with what's going on that pair, go find yourself another pair. I trade the yen. I'm sorry, I trade the Great British Pound. No, I'm right. I trade the yen with, but I like GBP, JPY, GJ. That's my, I'm not supposed to have a favorite pair, but that's the one I spend the most time on. And I like that because of my dyslexia. I only have to deal with 3 decimal places because the yen makes it a lot easier for me. So the reason why I'm telling you that is because the market is a big enough place to solve whatever discrepancies you might have in your head or to satisfy whatever kind of trader you might want to be. If you want to be a scalper, this is a great scalping tool. And something that I failed to mention, I don't know how often I have mentioned this in the past, before I do anything on a trade, I come over here to Forex Factory and I check what's going on in the news. If you come over here to filters, I don't trade the Swiss franc just because I don't. I just don't care about it. So I would filter this like so. I only want to know when I have Great British Pound, JPY, a red or a yellow folder. And I will say apply these filters. Now, the news that affects my trades will pop up. That's 8:42 a.m. and 3:16 p.m. So I will not enter a trade, or I will be out of a trade at least 15 minutes before these numbers. I want to make sure I'm out, because you get some really funky candles on trading the news. Cam Moore is an expert on trading news. If you want to learn how to trade in news, I highly suggest you follow that training. Phenomenal job, great information. But if trading the news is not in your trading plan, don't trade the news, because it's going to hurt you. So I left that out. I also want to make sure that you clear the times on the pairs that you might be trading before you go pick a scan. All right? So let's go find another guy. Oh, questions. Who's got some questions for me? Everybody good?
Yeah, I have a question. My only question is because I'm, kind of new to this scanner. I didn't see exactly where did you go to set the Bollinger and the SAR up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. If you come over here, you see my cursor?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. You click on indicators, and now you could type in here.
Okay.
You type in his Bollinger, you click on that, or you could type in whatever. These are lists of indicators. There are more indicators than we know what to do with, because you can flavor your indicators to your liking. And I treat indicators as like my trading buddies, and I want to be with my buddies. I don't want any of my buddies on the other side of the trade. I want as many of my indicators on my side of the trade, right? Like this RSI. So if we're calling this buy, and I'm looking at this, and my RSI is still pointing down, like it's going into the oversold area. I'm waiting for it to get out of oversold. I want to be pointing up, going into a buy. And that's where I got in. I'm getting in over here. So The other thing about an RSI, you're going to hear people say this 1,000 times. I giggle every time I hear it. What goes up must come down. Up, it's going up. Got to come down sooner or later. Yep, sure will. Guarantee one thing, you'll be broke by the time it changes. Because it could stay lateral like this for hours, for days. There was no significant move for, oh my God, this is like a day from here to here. Well, yeah, 15 minutes, good half a day. So for 12 hours, you're like, when is this thing going to drop? And then over here, it tanks. So if you're listening to any kind of educator tell you anything, if you're taking a trade from someone who says, don't worry, if you're on the red bus, it's going to come back, get out. I would much rather be outside of a trade wishing I was in than inside of a trade wishing I was out, because you could lose a whole lot of money in that kind of trade. So trading is all about your mindset, your headset about your money, your relationship with money. When you understand, I knew when I come to the understanding that Benjamin Franklin in this environment is a tool. It's an asset. It's an asset. I throw it out into the arena with all the other kids out there on the block. And because I paid attention to the indicators, I got my trades off the harmonic scanner. See, the harmonic scanner is like it's like a filter, right? Anyone ever have a fish tank? You got your fish in a big tank. That's like the market, and the fish is all the currencies. The harmonic scanner is a net. You go in there, and the harmonic scanner is which fish should be in that net, which pairs are moving. So I go to my scanner. Now I can focus on one or two pairs. Awesome. I bring on some additional tools. Do another one. Go to a different broker. Go to my long chart. CAD JPY. And here's what this had to say. Now let's see what happens when I bring my Bollinger on. Let's see what happens when I bring my SARS on. Okay. So this was being called as a what? My D's up here. My stop loss is above my price. So I'm expecting this to go into a sell. This one is a really pretty freaking happy. But what happened immediately? We're calling a sell. I'm seeing this as a sell, and I'm seeing this as a flat top on a 4-hour chart. Flat top on a 4-hour chart. But I have my SARs on the buy side. The SARs are on the buy side. So that makes me nervous. So I would not go into this long. I would not go into this on a, what's the word I'm looking for? Intraday trade. I would do this to jump in and get my 5 pips and run away. And for whatever reason, my chart's not flipping. I also typically use this with TradingView. A lot of people don't have the TradingView platform. What I would do is I would go and I would type in CAD JPY on TradingView and look it on TradingView as well. But my point being, you don't always get, it's not always a pretty picture, right? Because my SARs are on the buy side. Could we mute our mics, please? My SARs are on the buy side and my call is on the sell side. So my Bollinger Band is saying it's going to come down. It's going to come down to the median. And look, once I got to the median, then my SARs were in alignment. And here's the drop. Boom. Right here. Boom. And that's 50 pips. So Nothing wrong with getting in here. This time you would have won. There are times when this happens and this comes up and bangs your stop loss. It didn't hit you that hard this time, but I've seen many times where right in here, when the SARs are on the wrong side of the call, you'll come and you'll grab your stop loss. Didn't happen this time. But what did happen? If you were patient, if you did not jump in early and you were patient, you got your pips. This is a safer set. This is I hesitate to use the word safer because they're making you feel like something is dangerous. This is a statistically higher win when you let the SARs flip. Here, this is the danger zone. This is very unstable. The Bollinger Band is very narrow. You'll see when the Bollinger Bands get thick like this, you got some big moves. This is a big honking move. You have, boom. This is a 160 pip move, right? Very healthy move. You could have rode this puppy to the BMW dealership. But over here, I'm not playing this game because my indicators are making me nervous. So when my indicators make me happy, and I'm in my Bollinger Band, and I had my harmonic scanner give me the move, the harmonic scanner gave it to me. My patience prevented me from kicking the dog, and I still made my money. Everybody cool with that? And now this is just my philosophy. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. This is just the way I use the scanner. For me, it's the best of both worlds. The IML tool is handing me the scan, which is good 8 out of 10 times, and now I'm perfecting my in, and I'm perfecting my out. So my win rate is much higher. See, people come into IML thinking, oh man, I got to become, this master trader. I have to master the market. No, you just got to master the tool. If you don't like this tool, there's teacups. If you don't like that tool, we got tools up the wazoo. Pick one you like, right? So I just want to master this tool, because when I master the tool and I master my mindset is what burns me 90% of the time. Trading is like 5 to 10% skill and 90% my head. So when I get my head on my side and the tools on my side and a system and a trading plan in an organized way, look, I trade the London-New York overlap. I'm live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday, Friday's demo. Why do I trade Monday and Friday as demo? Because the way the world works, central bankers might not hit their marks on a Friday. If they miss their marks on a Friday, they have to move a lot of money on Monday. So if they're moving a lot of money on Monday, I might be on the wrong side of that move. So I practice on Monday. And I look at all those anomalies. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, awesome. Somewhere between Wednesday and Thursday, there's going to be a market reversal, midweek reversal. Happens every week. But now I'm expecting it. Why? Because I've seen it for almost 52 freaking weeks already. Okay? So when I'm unsure, a new philosophy, a new indicator, I'm back in demo. Anytime I win 3 trades in a row, I take a break. If I'm on the 15-minute candles, I'm out for 15 minutes. Why? Because I don't want to get full of myself. I want to give myself a little, reality check. Oh man, I won 3 in a row. Huh. I don't need to look at that indicator. Oh, yes, you do. You win 3, take a break. You lose 3 in a session. If I have 3 losses in a session, I shut the machine off. I'm done. I need to reset my mind. I need to go read a book. I need to go watch some IML TV. I need to go pet the dog, not kick the dog. Suave. Reset your mind. Come back. The market will be there tomorrow. Right? So that's pretty much all I got. I'm a couple minutes over. If there's any more questions, I'd be happy to, answer them. I'm totally available. People can reach me in, the group or whatever if you need me for anything. So that being said, I'll give it back to Aurea unless there's more questions.
Go ahead.
I'm with the I'm just wondering if you could I don't quite understand the SAR. I mean, I heard what you said, but I don't quite understand that.
Okay, no worries. Let me see what I can do for you. Okay, so let me just pump this up a little bit. Can you see the screen okay?
Oh, yes, I see it fine.
Okay, fine. So a parabolic SAR stands for stop and reverse. That means the price is going to stop and it's going to reverse, right? So let's look at them here. We had SARs pop up over here on the bottom of the price. When the SAR appears below the price, that means the pair is going into a buy. Okay? Now here, there's a lot of erratic, irregular behavior because the market is in patience. But even so, over time, the SARs are creeping up towards the price. And when they get close enough to the price where they come and touch it, they flip to the other side. They stopped and reversed. So this means the pair is now going into a sell. So this harmonic scan is for a sell. So my SARs are now on the same side of the trade as the call, as the sharp pattern on my scanner. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, yes, yes, I see that.
Okay, so these SARs are going to ride this sell. They're going to ride this sell, and they're going to get closer and closer and closer to the price until they flip. And what happens when the SARs flip? What's going to go into that? The pair's going to go into a what? If I was in a sell,
they're going to go to a buy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So over here, let's look back in time. Look back in time over here, my SARs were telling me I am in a buy. I'm in a buy. I'm in a buy. I'm in a buy. And what happened? Boom, they flipped. And they started going into a sell. And it formed this pattern. It formed this pattern. And the pattern was also a sell. But what is my for me, I'm using my Bollinger Band as well. I'm seeing that I had a flat bottom over here. I closed outside of my Bollinger Band. That means it's going to reverse. So even though this thing is calling a sell, this is a sell. At this point in time, it's not matured. Here's my pattern. Where is my SAR? My SAR is calling a buy, and my scanner is calling a sell. They are in direct conflict with each other. True or true?
True.
Right. My SAR is saying buy. My scanner is saying sell. What does Tommy do? Tommy waits. I want to see who's right. Well, the SAR flipped again. The SAR flipped, and boom, I'm back into a sell. In this scenario, if you would have got in on this flat top, on the sell, you would have made money. You could have pulled out a bunch of pips. It's like 20-something pips. Boom, boom, boom. Very happy day. I'm not saying that the scanner is wrong. I'm just saying that it doesn't always go this way. It could have been that this wick could have come up here and stopped you out of the scan. It could have stopped you out. You could have hit your stop loss. That's why I'm not getting in, because this is telling me I'm going to be going in the wrong direction. I'm going to be having some action that is counter this move. So I'm going to be freaking patient. I don't need to grab all this money. I need to grab my little old self 5 pips.
Right.
So I'm waiting for it to come over here, where now my scanner and my SAR and my Bollinger Band are telling me to come and play. And boom, that's 50 pips. And I'm going to take 5 pips out. And over here, let's say I got in here. My SAR flip. Say I waited for a SAR. All right? I waited. Right here. At 5 pips over here, my price is still at the midline of my Bollinger Band. It's either going to bounce off or go through it. So my 5 pips puts me right here. I'm going to wait to be over here, because now I know I went through it. I'm going to go grab me another 5 pips. Then I'm going to wait. It's still dropping. I'm going to grab me another 5 pips. You know what? I'm getting close to the edge of my Bollinger Band. I got 15 pips on this move. I'm done. But I did it 3 5 pips in a row. I got my 2 trades, and now I'm taking a break. And now who else is taking a break? The market's taking a break. Now I'm back in patient. Can you mute our mics, please? So now I'm going to go hang out for a while and see what the next thing is. If this thing starts dropping and it closes outside of my Bollinger Band, well, I know it's going to come back, and I'm going to wait. Because me personally, the vast majority of my trades, I do sells. I don't take the buys. I wait for the sells. And the reason why I wait for sells is because of human nature. Because people see things are dropping and they panic and they get out. It's like a panic sale. So the drops are usually much more radical than the buys. So I get in on the sells. But that's just my trading plan. That's what my trading has developed into over the last year. Was that helpful, Robert?
Yes, that was. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Anybody else? Aria, it's all you, my dear.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you so much, really, for pouring into everyone that jumps on our Wednesday night Zoom. I know when I say this, I speak for everyone that's been following you, that we thank you. We thank you for your time and your teaching. And I can say that I'm excited for next Wednesday. So everyone, if you need to get in touch with Tommy T, you can find him on our chats on Facebook, or you can send me a text. If you need me for anything, I'm available. Just send me a text. Other than that, if no one has any other questions, then we will say good night. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for everything.
Bye-bye,
Wow.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.